Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Ronald the Peculiar One. We're going to talk about some more news today. Grocery prices have jumped up and there's no relief in sight. September 19th, 2025. Even though this is a little old, probably a few weeks old or so, it doesn't change anything. I was just recently grocery shopping, and I might make a special video of that, showing that, but the prices are even higher. For instance, I was going to purchase 2 candy bars, sort of like Hershey bars, and to buy 1 bar, chocolate bar, you're paying for 2. So let's say you were going to purchase 1 chocolate bar at the register, and they scanned it 2 times. Remember those fill-ins? Remember those days? I'm sure all of us had at least a few experiences where the cash register people were being careless, and they overcharge you because they scanned your item more than the items you had. I'm going to talk about a few people's experiences, and I'll talk as I see fit through this video. It says food prices rose 3.2% in the last 12 months. That means they probably raised it at least 3 or 4 times, outpacing overall inflation. 53% of the people surveyed by the Associated Press and NORC this summer said rising grocery prices are a significant source of stress. No kidding. If you have to, this is why there's a lot of homeless people. You have to choose food or paying your rent or your mortgage or your taxes on your house. So people live in their cars, they get RVs, and then of course I did a video on the president's executive order about basically calling homeless people illegals. And you can read this, fast forward, pause it, whatever you like to do. You're in charge of the player, unless YouTube AI throws commercials in there, which I'm not getting a cent for. So if there's any commercials on my channel, you can blame YouTube. The NPR series, Cost of Living, The Price We Pay, is examining what's driving prices increases, how people are coping after years of stubborn inflation, how are higher prices changing the way you live. What's the item? Groceries. How has the price changed since before the fake pandemic or the deliberate acts of the governments all working together? Because they didn't go to war. They didn't go to war with that country that did it. Because they were all in that lab together. That's why they didn't go to war. Up to 29% since February 2020, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Probably a lot higher than that. Why have prices gone up? Pandemic, fake pandemic, initially snarled supply chains as restaurants were shuttered and consumers suddenly had to prepare 3 meals at home each day. Oh, what a bunch of crock. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because it would have been the same intake for each person with the normal meals that they would normally eat, regardless. This is my opinion, my take, my view. You can take it or leave it. Most people don't watch my stuff anyway because, well, it's because of the AI. YouTube is singling all of us out. They don't want us getting this out there, but the popular people can talk about it. They put it up, and an hour later, they got 50, 100, 200,000 views. I don't care about the views anymore. I mean, I do care, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I've pretty much said it over and over and over in majority of my videos about stuff like this with the lack of views and all this stuff. So I'm just gonna do my content the way I do it. Either you like it or you don't. I'm not getting paid nothing for doing this. And that was compounded in 2022. Yeah, let's just keep going. Compounded in 2022 by Russian invasion of Ukraine, which is gibber, which raised food prices around the world. Avian flu added gibber. More garbage to make excuses up. Obviously, the governments are behind all these things. And I will say the corporate greedy greedy people added to the more recent spike in egg prices, and now President Trump's tariffs are pushing up the price of imported foods like bananas and coffee. Bananas. I think I'm having issues with my mic today, so bear with me. Sometimes programs don't load correctly. Grocery prices up almost 30% in 5 years. You can take a look at this. Grocery prices have risen steadily since February 2020. Corporate greed. Remember, the United States is nothing but a greedy corporation now, and all of us people are just the workers and the slaves. The United States is not what it used to be, and with knowledge increasing, the United States never was what we thought it was growing up. It's all corporate. It's a corporate business, people. There's nothing special about the United States anymore. Never really was. For all you Patreons out there, patriots of the United States, better open your eyes. Better open your eyes. Better realize it. If you've been overseas for a while and you come back, you know what I'm talking about. Say price spikes during the beginning of the pandemic, and then price spikes again after Russia. You know what a bunch of gibber this is. I'm just doing this as just another news clip, content review, my opinion, my take. I'm changing it up. I'm starting to move away from video games more because video game stuff isn't working anymore for me. It never really worked for me. I did it anyway. I will still do video games. I just gonna cut down on it. It's a waste of my time to do all those anymore. I will be doing it for extra entertainment and stuff, but I'm gonna move on to this type of stuff, and I'm gonna get so I can voice my opinion more instead of putting it in my video games content. Last month saw the biggest jump in grocery prices in almost 3 years. For Shelia Fields, who lives in Galveston, Texas, the hunt for affordable food has almost become a full-time job. Like yesterday, we went to 3 different stores. This is her opinion, her experience. Different stores here in town, and we bought only what was a really good sale, Fields says, so we got no meat at all because it's just too high. And there's no difference between the meat that they're selling today and they were selling 10, 20, 30 years ago. Fields and her husband are both retired nurses, and they're worried about outliving their savings. I already outlived my savings. I'm broke. I spent it all on food and some basic things. All gone. That American so-called, I don't like to use this word, dream or hopes is gone. It's nothing but corporate America now. That's what I'm sure you've heard the word or the saying corporate America. Because that's all the United States is a corporation, a bunch of businesses. And we were born and raised in it, people. We were born and raised in it. And we are believing that We were believing in something that was just false and not true. It wasn't about the people of this country. It was about the businesses. It was about the money. It was about the rich. Yeah, some rich people are cool, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the rest, which is most of the ones that control all the resources and everything else. They're the problem. And there's really nowhere to escape it unless you leave this country. But they're all together, so when you go to another country, you'll see it there too. But it's in some places it's not as bad as the United States. But obviously there's countries to avoid, right? Probably all the ones that have nuclear bombs. Those are the countries that probably to avoid altogether. We're not going hungry, she says. We just have anxiety over this. Yeah, she's sugarcoating that one. And anxiety about our kids and our grandkids. We've been through a lot of recessions. We've been through one in the 80s and the 2008. And this is the scaredest we've ever been. And you can read that under there, under a picture there, if you like. You can pause it. Fields and her husband are in good company. A survey this summer by the Associated Press. Remember about surveys. Surveys ain't very accurate. Just kind of using it as a headline to kind of navigate to people to say, hey, look, we did this. This is sort of what people are saying. Found the cost of groceries has become a major source of stress for just over half of all Americans. Actually, it's all of the Americans. You can change that. All Americans. Unless you're super rich, then you're part of the problem. And you need to lower your prices, not raise them. But of course, you're going to raise them because why? You're part of the problem. Over half of all Americans outpacing rent, health care, and student debt. They just need to get rid of the student debt altogether. Who cares? Most people who were students never got anywhere. Ended up at some factory or some management position somewhere or something like that. Nothing special about you going to college anymore. Unless you're a doctor. But most doctors are, what do they call those? Moonlighting. They're just moonlighting people. Not very skilled at their job. Just going through the pace. Some doctors are awesome, but you have to be rich for most of those specific doctors. Let's see. What are people doing about it? Rebecca White, who works at a bank in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's Ohio. It's got to be Ohio. I'll just say Cincinnati. Just in case there's a Cincinnati town somewhere. Says her paycheck has not kept pace with her rising grocery bills. She's scoring the back of her cupboards for food and eating a lot of spaghetti. Yeah, noodles. That's called pork food. That's like ramen noodles. Any type of noodle. And then you add some flavor into it. Maybe some vegetables if you can afford vegetables. Most people can't afford the vegetables anymore. Big bag of variety of vegetables. Too high. There's some prices went back down. In the stores, most items went up. The soda water or soda pop, way too high. And I did a report on the Coca-Cola, how they're going to shrink the Coca-Cola cans to 7.5 ounces instead of 12 ounces, people. Keep an eye on that when you buy it. Make sure you buy the 12 ounce, not the 7.5. Even though the 7.5 will be cheaper by a couple bucks. But you're being ripped off, people. You're being ripped off. I try to stick to cheaper meals, which isn't always healthy. Nada. Nutrition is down. Very, very bad. I work out and I had to reduce my workouts because I'm not getting enough nutrition to keep the growth or get some gains, because you don't have proper nutrition. You're not going to see good gains. I do get gains, small gains, but I'm not getting the gains that I would like because I have to eat a bunch of nasty noodles. And noodles aren't good for people that are athletic. I try to stick to cheaper meals, which, okay. Sometimes I'll keep breakfast. I'll skip breakfast and then just have lunch and dinner so that I don't have to buy another meal. When you do this, that means you're probably not into fitness very well if you're doing this. But then again, if you're on a decline, you can lose some of that body fat or body weight and get leaner. The giant Kroger supermarket chain. Oh, I don't like that place. Kroger's is an awful place. They bought Kroger's. Kroger's bought what? Scott's. Scott's was overpriced on things. Kroger's is overpriced on things as well, and they lie about the labeling. Oh, if you have the digital coupon, you can get it this price. If you have the regular coupon, you can get it this price. If you don't have the coupon or the Kroger's card, you have to pay the full price. But I got news for you. You're paying full price anyway. The giant chain says stress and apparent as shoppers make smaller, more frequent trips to the store, use more coupons, and opt for cheaper private label products. Remember back in the day, they used to have the white and black aisle, the colorless aisle. The poor aisle. That's what they called it. The poor aisle. The poor aisle. Sorry, I'm having issues with my mic, and I'm hearing myself double, triple echo in now. White says she's not optimistic about finding relief at the checkout line anytime soon. I got news for you. The price is going to continue to go up. In my opinion, my take, I don't think we have maybe a year or two, and it will be so high that we will have to choose mortgage payments, utility payments, bills, pay the bills, car payments, insurance, car payments, insurance on the house, your apartment. You got to choose food or the roof over your head. That's what it's come down to. That's why everybody is becoming homeless, people. A lot of people that are homeless isn't because they're drug addicted. Maybe some of them became drug addictive. Maybe some homeless people offered it to them. Oh, and they became addicted. Maybe that's how it happened. But most of the homeless isn't because of drugs. Most of the homeless is because of what I'm reading right now, what I'm talking about. You just need to pay attention, people. You just need to pay attention to this. If you're watching it, you're going to learn something. If you're not watching it and you skip through it, no, you're missing out on a real human being talking about the truth. In my opinion, of course, if you want the fact check, look it up yourself. Look out the window. Look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to see the truth about what's happening. You just need to stop living in that lie, that fairy tale, or that word that I use only because the word story is made up. Story means it's made up. It's not all true. Be aware of that word too. And I talked about that word before, the definition of that. Once prices go up, they rarely, if ever, come back down, she says. She's right. Some of the products will go down. I noticed that barbecue sauce, certain type of barbecue sauce that I like, went way up, and then it dropped back down. Probably because they weren't getting enough sales. People avoid certain products and say, look, we're going to have to lower them back down. Those are the people that actually have brains in the businesses industry. The rest will keep jacking their prices up until we are basically have to choose food or a roof over our head. You can't have both people when the time comes. I figure this is my opinion. I think we may have maybe 1 to 2 more years, because if they keep jacking the prices up, there's no way we can afford both. There's no way we're going to be able to afford the food and living. We're going to probably be homeless. And if people don't rise up and do something about it, especially the people that were supposedly hired to speak for us for each of our towns, cities, states, at the White House, and if they don't speak up and do something, instead of only being concerned about keeping their job and being popular and telling people what they want to hear instead of actually doing something about it, we're going to all be homeless soon. If you ain't already. The double-digit price hikes triggered by the pandemic, which was a setup. I think all the governments were part of that. And Russia's invasion of Ukraine came as a shock. Yeah, it's a shock that they would use that for excuses, because we all know that's garbage. After decades of relatively stable grocery prices, and shoppers are reminded of those higher prices week after week. This is just opinions, people's little take. I thought I'd do this type of clip. It's hard finding specific things to talk about that don't sponsor those people in the clips I talk about. So I got to be careful about that sometimes. We all have to eat, and food is very personal, says David Ortega, a food economist at Michigan State University. Grocery prices have become a hot button political flashpoint over the past couple of years. President Trump has said repeatedly that shoppers' frustration with grocery prices helped put him back in the White House. Groceries went through the roof, and I campaigned on that, Trump told a White House audience in April. Despite Trump's promise to lower prices, the overall cost of groceries is higher now than when he was sworn in. The president's crackdown on illegal immigration includes targeting people who pick and process our food, could add to upward pressure on prices. Trump's tariffs are also contributing to higher prices for imported staples like bananas and coffee. Tariffs are simply a tax on import goods, Ortega says, so that raising the cost, and ultimately consumers see that at the grocery store. Now, this is half true and half not true. Half true, going based on everybody else. And the other part that's not true is that the United States is nothing but a corporate business engine. We were born to work for them until the day we die. We were promised something that's just not so. If you happen to be, you sacrifice, you can get some retirement. But you're too old to enjoy that retirement because you cannot. Your health is failing you, having issues, aches and pains, so on. It says coffee prices have jumped more than 20% last year. And while some of that is due to weather in coffee in growing countries like Brazil and Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, they mentioned Vietnam here. Vietnam is completely cashless. It's completely taken over already. It was a test country, and I'm sure some countries surrounding it was also test countries for the digital ID or the digital wallet, so the phone company can use the digital wallet app and make a fortune, just like Facebook. Remember when you used to buy cell phones? They automatically had Facebook app built into those cell phones to brainwash you. Eventually, click on it, Well, that's what they did to all of us, sir. Sir and ma'am. That's what they did to all of us. Sheila Fields stocked up on coffee when the tariffs were announced. Well, she had money to do so. She's not sure what she'll do when the supply runs out. Well, I think it's obvious you're going to have to sacrifice like all the rest of us. We have not bought coffee in a month, and the prices are going up, up, up. She says with a rueful laugh, we're down to like 1 cup in the morning, and I just hate to give that up. Same for me. I like soda water, or soda pop, or cola, whatever you like to say. There you go, everybody. That's the report. A little clip. That's the clip for that. Go back up to the top. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna talk a couple more minutes, and then I will end the video. Sometimes when I say that, it usually lasts 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But in my personal opinion, of everything that I've seen, I'm going to say we may have 1 to 2 more years, and if they continue to jack these prices up, we're going to have to choose. And I'm sure a lot of people have already chose food over a roof to live in. That's why a lot of people are homeless, and they still have jobs. They had houses. They probably had several cars. They probably, if they're fortunate to be able to sell that to get some kind of profit, so that they can use that to live in their cars, to get an RV. But I already talked about that in my other video, talking about the executive order. The president isn't helping anything. He's making it worse. He's overrunning the system. And it's just getting worse, people. So I would say 75%, this is just give or take. It's not an actual fact I can show you in front of my face. You can look it up yourself. But with experience, I'm going to say about, I'll just say 65, 75% of all the homeless. And this includes retirement people that live in their RVs. They're considered homeless too, and that's illegal to do so. But I'd say about 65, 75%, including retired people, are considered homeless. They lost their jobs, lost their houses, lost their apartments, living in a car, living in an RV, living in a little trailer. You notice trailer parks, why people live in trailer parks, and people made jokes about them living in trailer parks, like the tornado thing. You know, they made jokes putting them down, and that's not good, because I got news for you. We're all human beings, and we all need to be treated with respect and be treated fairly, and we're not getting that. So this is my latest content I'm still going to do videos of video games. I just going to cut down on that. I want to talk about the truth. I want to talk about this type of stuff more, because I'm just tired. I'm just tired of seeing everybody being taken advantage of, which is also called oppression. We're being oppressed, people. We're being oppressed. Look that up. Oppression. Where you think you're gonna get ahead, and they make it so you cannot get ahead no matter what you do. What does that sound like to you? That's oppression. Our government is oppressing us, and that's in other countries as well. But again, the United States is nothing but a corporate greedy cesspool, and we were born into it, people. We were born into it. So look at it this way. Look at a bunch of buildings all surrounding you that are nothing but factories, or businesses, and you were born right in the middle of that, right in the middle of that, of those buildings that are surrounding you. That's the United States. So everyone who swears by the American flag, I got news for you. You were deceived. People who fought wars come back, sacrifice for this country. I got news for all of you. You were deceived. Yeah, you think you were protecting your family, your home, but actually what you were protecting, which they used that against you to brainwash you into believing that, and you might have partially protected them to some extent, but you were actually protecting the rich, the over wealthy people, the ones that actually go into other countries and kill villagers, wipe them out, and take their resources. And just like the Ukraine thing. What do you think that's about? It has nothing to do with the people. It has to do with the resources. Russia wants those resources back. The United States, the country I'm in, was born and raised, which I'm ashamed of now. My heart is broken, is heavy on the fact that this country never was what I thought it was. So there you go, everybody. That all of that is all about protecting the corporations, the businesses. It's not about the people, never was. But that Constitution, we the people or for the people, that was a big hogwash. Maybe it had good intentions, the Constitution and stuff. Do you see the government following that? No, just us. We're the ones following it, not them. They have set us all up to fail before we were even born. So there you go, everybody. You can take it or leave it. And if you don't like it, well, there's plenty of other channels. Now, there's plenty more channels popping up that are changing their content to this type of stuff anyway, because we're all tired of being lied to, and YouTube AI is singling me out along with others. But all of you subscribers out there, thank you so much that stick around. If you're still stick around, thank you so much. And again, I want to say, if you're watching this, if you're listening, please subscribe to anyone who is under 1,000 subscribers. Let's teach that AI, algorithm, YouTube, baloney, where to stick it. Yeah, I'm getting a little grumpy. I'm getting a little agitated. I'm still being civil here, civilized. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being lied to. Aren't you? Are you tired of being lied to and deceived by your own people? They're telling, especially the government, telling you if you become homeless because you don't have the finances, that you don't belong in your own country, that it's illegal for you to exist. Better open your eyes, people. This country don't care about us and never did. Because it's a corporate. It's all corporate. Corporate businesses. Corporate rich people. And they use us as slaves. That's all we are now. Slaves. We'll never get ahead. We're oppressed. And we'll grow old if they don't poison us with all the junk they throw in the food. And we won't really be happy like we should. So find something, and now I'm going to say this. So find something to smile and laugh at, laugh about. Not at, as in a sense, and as people. Don't laugh at others or anything like that, but find something to smile about every day, so it helps you get through the day, even a second. But make sure it's a real smile. Don't do a fake smile. Find something that gives you a real smile. God, thankfulness, hope, feeling good because you're not in as much pain as you was yesterday. Something. Just find something to not give up in, and just smile and laugh and get through the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and bearing with me. Moving on to the next video, everybody. Keep your eyes open and don't let anyone think for you. You think for yourselves. Moving on to the next video, everybody. Take care. And may God bless you.